What's up, everybody? I'm Matrix Andrea, and we're going to continue with our Dark Souls 2 New Game Plus playthrough. Today we're going to go through the Shaded Woods, so I'm going to start off with my stats, and then I'll show my gear, and then we'll get moving. And because there's a multi-enemy encounter here, I'm going to equip the Claymore so that I can fight with all of the enemies that are going to pop out at me. And so up here in Majula, which is really easy to overlook, there's a pathway up here. You'll find Benhart sitting on some rocks next to a door, and he's complaining that there's a statue blocking the handle to open up the door. So I brought a fragrant branch of yore from Magarold last night while I was playing, so that I'd have one to open up this path. As usual, I'm going to edit out all of the character dialogue so that we don't have to waste our time with that. So 1 second. Alright, so now we'll go on in and free Rosabeth, and then when you do, as soon as you open up the doorway, enemies jump out of these doors. So we can take care of the first two before we even get started. But the ones that come out from top, you can't get up there, so there's no way to take care of them before you free her. I really like the wide arcing swings on the Claymore when you're two-handing it. You could do that in the first game if you were one-handing, and it was good to catch invaders when they were trying to get away from you. But Dark Souls 2 doesn't do the vertical swings, it does the wide arcing swings, which is helpful. So give me 1 more second, I'll cut this out. Alright, so now I'm going to pull the lever on that gate and we'll fight this multi-enemy encounter. My souls are lower than before I cut out what I just cut out because I bought all of the burrs that she sells just so I'd have something to spend my souls on. So let's get this started. A really smart idea, if you don't want to put her at risk, is to go back to Majula and rest at the bonfire there, and then she'll move back before this happens. Then you don't have to worry about doing collateral damage while you're fighting with these guys. But for me, that's just kind of a waste of time, and I want to get this over with, so we're just going to do this here and now. And there's the real threat right there if you risk getting turned to stone. There's an Estus flask shard over in the right doorway, but through here is a bonfire, so I'm going to light this up and then we'll keep moving. And there's a few items up in these doorways here. You can jump off the side of the stairwell and get into there, but nothing really important. I'll just pick this up to show that it's what I said it was. So the Shaded Woods is full of these zombie guys. They're like eating corpses and things lying here on the side of the road, and the items that they're holding covered with green, that means that they're poisoned, so you have to be careful about getting hit too many times. And there's big groups of these guys too, so having a weapon that arcs in a wide swing, it's real helpful. And some of these little bastards throw rocks at you, so that's why I ran back over here behind cover so that they couldn't throw at me. Yeah, you see, I'm getting right in his face, and I'm kind of surprised he didn't throw another rock. I think he was about to try. We're going to have one more big group of these guys right here. Up here is the Ruined Fork Road bonfire. This is one of the most important ones in the game. 3 different areas that you have to go to later on. The first one's the Misty Forest, and that's where we're going to go right now. One of the pathways is Aldia's Keep, and then the other pathway is to Dranglaic Castle. The thing about the Misty Forest is all of the enemies in here are invisible. If you come back with the Eye of the Priestess item from the Crown of the Ivory King DLC, you'll be able to see everything that's in here, and you're at less risk for getting backstabbed. But if you don't have that item, it's not worth running through the woods trying to fight with these guys, because you can't lock onto them. You can't even really see them because of all the mist in the way. And I'm kind of surprised that one of them didn't follow me up here to try to backstab. I'm going to talk to Vingarl's head, and I'll cut this out too. Alright, so if you talk to Vingarl enough times, he'll give you his helmet, and I see a lot of people running around wearing that. What we do from here is we go back down this hill that I ran up. Just keep hugged to the left side of the stage, and you'll find a pathway that goes up to the left up some stairs, and that'll take you out of the forest. If you do keep going straight and hugging the left, eventually you'll find a treasure chest that gives you the Chloranthy Ring +1. And that's helpful for a new game cycle, because stamina is so sluggish on refilling in this game that it's helpful to have that for the first game cycle. You don't get the Chloranthy Ring +2 until you fight the Executioner Chariot in New Game Plus. So the first thing about this area is there are a ton of curse pots. So I'm going to wear my Halloween mask while I run through here, because this thing gives 100% curse resist. And yes, that is a hollow skin +10, because I had you know, souls to spend at the end of the new game cycle, so why wouldn't I? Boo. Anyway, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go talk to Scorpioness Najka's husband, Tark, and after that we'll go fight the boss, and then the episode will end right there. This area used to be filled with lion warriors, but they changed it in the Scholar version, so now it's these invisible bandit guys. And you can see the curse working on me, but because I'm wearing my Halloween mask, it's not going to do anything. One of the best items they could have put in one of the DLCs was this mask, because getting cursed in the regular game, it was real annoying. You lose your life, you start to look ugly. That's the more important thing to me, the fashion souls. You look like a fucking zombie. That was one of the things I actually hated about Dark Souls 1. I spent time making Victory's face, and then when the first cutscene started, the night that I picked up the game, the cutscene started, and holy shit, she looks like a zombie. What's this? And I felt like I'd wasted my time. And then Dark Souls 2 took it a step further. They made you turn green, they gave you white eyes, they made you look more rotten the more times you died. I don't like the hollowing look. So I was glad that Bloodborne and Dark Souls 3 actually dropped that. So I'm going to talk to Tark, and I'll cut this out too. You have to wear the Ring of Whispers if you want to talk to him. The thing about Tark is that if you talk to him after you kill the Duke's dear Freya, he'll give you the second dragon ring. Although you can just kill him outright and he'll drop that for you. I've never killed him, mostly because I'm not a dick. And I got the second dragon ring after I killed Freya in the first game cycle. So if you unfreeze this lion warrior here, you'll find Vingarl's body, and if you talk to Vingarl after that, you can summon him later for some of the boss fights, which I'm definitely going to do. Most notably, it'll be against the Throne Watcher and Defender, because I absolutely hate that fight, and I will do everything I can to make it easier on myself. Now these Lion Warrior guys, they never swing more than once, so it's real easy to punish them with a rollback stab, and that's actually my favorite way to fight them. And Vingarl's body is right here. He's pretty easy to roll back stab too, so that's how I'm going to take him out. You can see he's got a ton of health too. He must be embarrassed getting beat up by a girl wearing a Halloween mask. In these engraved gauntlets, you can hear when a critical attack happens, because it makes a louder pop than normal. Yeah, he drops his armor set when you kill him. In the original release of the game, he used to be back behind Freya after you got into the Duke's quarters. But they moved him in the Scholar version, I guess to keep him closer to where his body was. Yeah, and I got branches to use, so I'll use this one here, even though this is pointless, because you can jump from here. Or you can jump from where the bonfire is and get over here. And you can find a Sublime Bone Dust. So that's what I'm going to pick up while I'm over here. And something I didn't know until more fairly recently is you can actually drop down from over here and land right back by where Vingarl's head is. And just take it as a shortcut. I never do because I don't like to drop down. I'm always afraid I'm going to get myself killed. So I always skip out on doing that, and I'll just take the long way back. But there's the Cyan Knight, and there's a Sublime Bone Dust in that chest. I think I got one more branch, so if I do, I'll save. Oh, maybe I don't. I thought I had 3. Yeah, so I'm not going to be able to save, what's her name, Ornifex yet. I may or may not do that. I don't need her to make anything for me, so maybe I'll just skip over that. Some minor platforming right here. You got to jump back over to get close to the bonfire. And if you unfreeze this lion guy right here, he drops the Fang key, and that's how you unlock the door where Ornifex is. There is one more person up in this area that I'm going to go talk to. Crayton the douchebag. He used to be sitting in front of the entrance to the Misty Forest itself, but they moved him in Scholar to up here into the middle of the stage. So I'm going to cut this out. Give me just one more second. Alright, so Creighton whines and bitches so much that his whole personality turns me off, calling Pate a dirty rat and talking about how he's going to get revenge and acting like such a cool guy that when it comes down to it and they're fighting in Brightstone Cove, I always kill Creighton because I think he's a douchebag and he whines. And also, where this message is, yeah, be wary of hole. There's some broken boards that you can drop down and talk to Dark Diver Grandal, and then you can talk to him a total of 3 times, and you get to fight the Dark Lurker if you join the Covenant. So I'm going to fight her, and afterward I'll run up into the Doors of Pharos, and I'll end the episode at the bonfire there. A good tactic on fighting with her is just bait her into doing either that attack or the other tail attack where she sticks her tails into the ground. And you can get some free hits while she's locked into that animation, so that's how I'm going to fight her. Do enough damage to her tails, you can actually cut them off, but if I'm going to cut one of her tails, I only do one. I won't do both of them because I like her doing this animation. It's a good way to get damage off of her. And then when she dives under the sand, you can stand on the bricks here and she can't leap up under you. And then while she's getting herself settled, you can hit her a couple of times. If you can make her knock that tree over that's over behind me, I'm pretty sure it's just flame butterflies. It's nothing real important, so don't go out of your way to try to get her to knock it down unless you're a real completionist. I'm not. I don't really care, so it's not that big a deal. And the Southern Ritual Band gives you a few more attunement slots. My rings are saved for some of the other stuff I keep equipped, so I'm not going to be using it. I don't use magic all that much anyway, and the magic that I do use, it's usually just to be cheap, so Dark Orb settles for that. Now I am going to say one thing about the Doors of Pharos. I'm not going to fight the rat boss up here because I think it's cheap. You get poisoned by all the little rats that are in the boss room with it. And this is one of those multi-enemy encounters that I actually do not like in this game, so I'm going to be skipping it. And I'll move on to the Royal Army campsite after this. There used to be a mimic chest in the water over here in the original release of the game, and I think you got the scorpion stinger from there. Alright, so I think that'll do for this episode. I'm going to thank everybody for coming with, and I'll see everybody again soon.